room where it's 10 degrees below zero. That is not the case in here. People are just going to come in. Yes, stand over here. Come all the way up. You can take your name tags off too. They won't kick you out as a result. Ah.
Yeah, you do.
Do we want something here? No, okay.
Yeah, get in here.
Let me see. Yeah, get in.
We'll just switch like that.
All that down. Get up here.
Maybe.
This is
I had the same thought. I was gonna say.
there was one note about the hotline that I wanted. Oh. Okay. People all set? All their members. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. And I always like to start from a place of gratitude. Thank you all for being here and joining us for this very exciting announcement. From enacting path-breaking protections, of course, for abortion and gender-affirming care providers to tackling the Black maternal health crisis, Massachusetts has and will continue to show itself to be, time and time again, the North Star for the nation on reproductive health access. Today, we are here again leading the way by announcing the formation of the first of its kind Reproductive Justice Unit. The Reproductive Justice Unit will be housed, of course, in the AG's office, and we're really, really proud that we're getting this off the ground today. Every one of us should enjoy the basic right to make decisions for ourselves about our bodies, our lives, our families, and our futures, including whether, when, and how to have and parent a child, regardless of where you live, who you love, or what your life circumstances are. This includes access to abortion and gender-affirming care, which is essential health care. But as we know, the Supreme Court stripped this right just over a year ago from millions of Americans. As a result, nearly half of the states in the country have severely restricted or altogether banned access to abortion, exacerbating inequities and disparities that hurt the most vulnerable. I am proud to be living and working, frankly, in the greatest state in the nation, a state that has responded to the Dobbs decision by enacting the nation's leading law to protect patients and providers from out-of-state attacks, a state that has enshrined the right to an abortion, a state that has led the way in responding to national attacks on abortion and access to health care, a state that is not afraid to name the horrifying, racial disparities that exist in maternal health outcomes and the shocking rates of suicide among trans youth, and so much more. But make no mistake, this fight didn't end with the Dobbs decision. Right-wing, anti-science extremists will not stop until abortion is banned in all 50 states, and LGBTQ people, starting with youth, are pushed into the shadows and frankly, possibly out of existence. In this unprecedented time, we have an opportunity to ensure that Massachusetts remains a beacon for reproductive justice, to take on access, of course, to reproductive health care, maternal health disparities, access or limited access to gender-affirming care, and so much more, and to do it with an intersectional lens and one that meets the challenges that lie ahead. We have been preparing for years because we know that banning abortion altogether or limiting access to other types of health care is the goal. That preparation, though, would not be possible without all of these fabulous people standing behind me, and behind you, and so many folks who came together for this announcement. And I want to name them because some of the folks were here when we announced the reproductive abortion hotline as well. First, we have representatives from Senator Markey's office and Senator Warren's office. Thank you, Jim. Good to see you guys. ACLU Massachusetts, Brookline Women's Health, Boston Medical Center, Eastern Massachusetts Abortion Fund, Foley Hoag, Goodwin, Golston Stores, HealthQ, Mintz Law Firm, Reproductive Equity Now, Tufts Tufts Mother Lab, Planned Parenthood League of Massachusetts, and the Women's Bar Association. Did I miss anybody? Oh, we did good. And I just have to stress, not only are we grateful for the continued partnership, these are folks who are on the front lines working hard every single day. We're grateful for the work that you do on the front lines. So what have we done to make reproductive justice a reality in Massachusetts? We passed the nation's leading SHIELD law. It's the best in the country, and frankly, other states are turning to us to use it as a model for their work. And we did that, of course, with bipartisan support, which is really profound given the politicization of what's happening in this country. The law is the first of its kind to protect those providing and seeking reproductive and gender-affirming care with comprehensive protections, regardless of where the patient is located at the time the care is provided. And of course, we were proud to watch other states lead, including California just last week. We work to creatively address data privacy concerns, combat misinformation, and invest in research that can help address disparities in maternal health. One of my first actions in office, alongside so many folks in this room, including RIN, the Women's Bar Foundation, ACLU, our law firm partners, Foley Hoag, Goulston Stores, Mintz Levin, Ropes and Gray, and Goodwin, we stood right here to provide a hotline that I actually want to name because we want to continue to get this number out. It's 833-309-6301, 833-309-6301. It's an abortion hotline that all of these partners came together to make sure we were able to launch it so that folks had a place to call and someone to call to be able to get up-to-date information to help them navigate, which could be, of course, some complex circumstances. And just last month, we distributed $1.5 million of our maternal health equity grant to organizations from Boston to as far as Berkshire County, who are providing services like access to doulas, prenatal care, and breastfeeding support. And I name that grant because it too is innovative and probably the only one in the country, and comes off of the work that folks have been doing in the maternal health space for a long time. But it uses the tools of the office, including our grant making tool, to be able to close those gaps in a significant way. Again, working to do this work in an intersectional way. And lastly, I'm done talking. I just want to say how incredibly proud I am to launch this Reproductive Justice Unit with all of these partners, and to name our new executive director, Sapna Khatri, who is right here, to lead that work. She comes with an impressive background. She comes from California, sunny California. Thank you for bringing the sun. And actually was at UCLA, and I went to law school at UCLA, where she launched the school's inaugural Reproductive Justice and Externship program, and then also went on to establish the nation's first medical legal partnership program at a Planned Parenthood clinic in California as well. And that just names some of the impressive work that she has already done and that she will continue to do leading this unit. And most importantly, stressing the importance of it being called a Reproductive Justice Unit. It is not just about access to abortion. That's one piece of the work, but it really is about access to healthcare and making sure that every single person in this country, but also in the Commonwealth, if they have an insurance card, they are able to use it. They can afford to use it and can, of course, parent any way they want. It's about freedom, and she gets that. So Sapna, congratulations, and I'm happy to turn it over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you to Attorney General Campbell for the opportunity to serve in this role. I also want to start just by thanking the advocates and providers that are on the stage and in this room with me for embracing me into the Massachusetts reproductive justice community. I've been doing this work for a while, but it's my first time doing the work here in New England, and I'm very excited to be in the Commonwealth and make this my home. Your insights, your stories, your struggles and successes are critical to this work, and we could not do this without you. So to everyone that's here, thank you. I am beyond grateful to join the Attorney General's office as director of the Reproductive Justice Unit. As the Attorney General mentioned, this unit will serve as an important tool to ensure Massachusetts continues to lead the way when it comes to accessing the full suite of sexual and reproductive health care. That includes, but is definitely not limited to, abortion care, maternal health care, gender-affirming care, and preventative care. Both Attorney General Campbell and I believe that this unit should be comprehensive in the issues and remain true to its roots in reproductive justice. The legal educator in me can't let a chance like this go without telling you about why it matters that this is a reproductive justice unit and what that means. Reproductive justice was developed by a group of Black women in the 1990s who recognized that we live intersectional lives and that we need an intersectional approach to address the many barriers that stand in our way to accessing reproductive health care. In that way, reproductive justice is both an analytical lens and a practical framework with human rights and social justice at its core. In practice, that means that we must examine the broader scope of issues that stand in our way to determining if, when, and how to have a family. That's why our work must address the growing disparities in maternal health outcomes, especially among Black and Brown women. We must work to tackle the harmful practices of crisis pregnancy centers. We must work to protect access to abortion care and gender-affirming care. We must work to critically examine the growth of technology and enact protections for our data privacy and security. And we must champion policies that implement vital tools like comprehensive sex education in schools across the Commonwealth. By focusing on health equity and education while centering community voices and partnering with stakeholders like those in this room today, both in and out of our state, our work can and will ensure that Massachusetts continues to lead the way